brotherhoods, friendships, family, conspiracy, violence, anarchy. These and more are the elements that break the infrastructure of suffering from within and can cause a rebellion. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster, and welcome to this simple video where I will be giving my predictions for this Sunday's next big Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, Rebellion. It is sure to be a hell of a fire show. We have quite a card here, and it's only 6 matches, I believe, and almost all of them are for titles. What's also amazing about this is the stories and the way they built this. An incredible go home and so from last night with an incredible 6-person main event tag match, but you might as well call it 8 because you also had Taya Valkyrie and Johnny Bravo, which we're going to get into more. Really, when you think about Don Callis, he played a part in this too. There are so many elements to this show, but with that, why don't we just get right into it? Let's talk about a match that really hasn't really been talked about or have like a cold opener video, because I just got done watching all of them on Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel. I enjoy that channel, actually. We have the Rascals versus Moose and the team known as the North. All Ego, Ethan Page, and Josh Alexander. So apparently Moose recruited these two men to take on the Rascals, who's been criticizing him, and they've been sharing victories back and forth. So I feel this is going to be really our fun opener, and I'm just going to say that I feel like since this is newly established, I feel like Moose and his team are going to take the win in that. Should be a fun match. Look at nice aerial spots with Trey Miguel, Desmond Xavier, and I feel like, I don't want Trey to take the fall because Trey is also the champion for one of my promotions here right in town, Extreme Chaos Wrestling. Support local independent wrestling, folks. And he'll be defending his title, of course, at their next show, which I hope to go if I don't work, in May. It's going to be on pay-per-view, too, so congratulations, Adam. Cheap plugs. But yeah, I think Desmond Xavier is going to eat the fall here, and I think Moose is going to be the one to pin him. So I'm going with Moose and his team for the win. With that, let's go into our next match. A match truly about a brotherhood broken. Rich Swann versus The Draw and leader of OVE, Ohio's Everything, Sami Callihan. Now, this is not the first time these two have met each other in the ring one-on-one, even for the title. But it feels like it has to all culminate here with the story that we've seen about how Sami took Rich off the streets when he had nothing, but he wanted Rich to be part of OVE. But Rich doesn't feel he needs to be part of OVE. He doesn't owe that servitude or obedience that he feels like would come of this to Sami. So what does Sami do? He gets another person straight from my home state of Ohio, Madman Fultz, now as part of OVE, and he literally destroys Rich Swann's friends in front of him using this walking weapon, you might as well call him. This match has an emotional backstory to it and a great build, and I feel like these two are going to tear each other apart. And Sami, we know what lengths he'll go to. Well, really we don't, because we know he'll do anything. So with that, I really feel like, also because he hasn't had a title yet, and I feel like he should be at this point, some point in their future Impact champ, this is the first stepping stone. I'm going to say Sami Callihan becomes your new X Division champion. And where Rich Swann goes from here, I have no idea, but I'm sure it'll be something unique because I feel like right now, Sami Callihan has Rich Swann from an emotional standpoint. When you fight off emotion, you're setting yourself up for defeat. So I'm going with Sami Callihan become the new X Division champion. Alright, so moving on from there, we have quite an interesting match here, and one of my personal favorites of Impact Wrestling. In my opinion, she is a trailblazer and a leader going in women's wrestling today. We have Tessa Blanchard versus the Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer, the veteran and former Knockouts champion, coming out of retirement, Gail Kim. So this is really interesting considering Gail Kim is for the last few months. She's really played more of an official role, leading the Knockouts roster, basically, and pushing this company into the future. But Gail Kim now, she has been literally pushed out of retirement by Tessa Blanchard to wrestle. But she sees a lot of Tessa Blanchard in herself. This really all culminated back at Impact Homecoming when Gail Kim was the special guest referee for Tessa Blanchard versus Taya Valkyrie's Impact Women's Knockouts Champion match. So the fact that Tessa lost that night blames Gail Kim, and I guess in a way you could say it was Gail's fault. She did get physically involved, and as the role of officiating, you're not supposed to be. Next thing you know, they're led to Tessa just breaking down everybody in her path, leading to a suspension after attacking Gail Kim backstage. Then Gail, she attacks Tessa at one point, and that ends up Gail getting suspended. Tessa threatens to sue and leave, demands an apology. She gets an apology, but she also demands Gail steps down, which she does as an official. But she's coming back out of retirement to kick Tessa's ass. I feel like this is going to be one of my more favorite matches of the night. Both of these women are going to truly bring it to one another, but, oh man, as far as who can get the victory. Well, Tessa Blanchard's leading the Knockouts division today and women's wrestling. She's currently women's wrestling, WOW's champion. So good on her. I almost want to believe that this is not a one-off. So I am going to say that Gail Kim wins. And we'll see what happens from here. Maybe this means that Gail Kim will finally go after the Knockouts Championship again, and we'll get Gail Kim versus Tessa Blanchard for the Knockouts Championship at their next pay-per-view, whatever that might be. I don't know when Slammiversary is going to come up, though. And I know we have Bound for Glory. And it seems like they're coming up with more and more new names. So it'll be interesting to see where Impact Wrestling goes from here. But as far as right now, I don't see these two being done with each other yet. So I'm going with Gail Kim for the win. And it's going to be seriously interesting to see how Tessa Blanchard reacts to that. So moving on from there, we now have... Okay, I gotta say right now, this is probably going to be match of the night. These two teams are literally two of the best tag teams today in tag team wrestling. And every show they've been a part of, they've torn the house down, whether pay-per-view or normal. It is LAX versus the current Impact Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., Cyril Miero. So let's think about how this was pretty much built. So both these teams originally, they're family, okay? Conan, he respects them all, La Familia, okay? And they face each other in incredible bouts starting all the way back when you think about Impact Homecoming, where those two, in my opinion, have match of the night. Then you move on from there, and you consider that LAX, they won, and it was like, okay, mutual respect, and then they come out cocky and be like, let us know when you want us to kick your ass again. So Conan's like, what are you doing? Next thing you know, they down the line, they face each other in Mexico in a title match again, and the titles change hands. The Lucha Brothers are now the Impact Tag Team Champions. And from there, it seems like, okay, everything's kind of okay still, but then things start deteriorating from within. And Conan's just watching this all unfold. Eventually, this leads to Santana and Ortiz literally ripping off the mask of the Lucha Brothers in another match for the titles after they lost. And Conan says, I'm going to correct this. He basically asks the Lucha Brothers to give them another match for the titles. Lucha Brothers are like, no. After that, Conan, since then, he feels disrespected. So now every opportunity they see each other, they're attacking each other, which leads to this match becoming Full Metal Mayhem. So this is going to be purely insane. And bottom line is this. The better team is going to win here. I have no idea who. But I like to think about this. We got the Lucha Brothers that are going to be facing the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing, AEW's first official show, in May. And I really feel like down the line, Impact Wrestling and AEW, they're going to form a partnership. I just feel like it's impending at this point. But with that, Lucha Brothers are currently your Impact Tag Champs, and then you have LAX. And I don't see LAX leaving Impact anytime soon. So because of the circumstances there, and I don't know exactly how everything's going to unfold after this, I'm going to go with, sorry, I don't want to call these hot potato, but I feel like it's going to change hands. I'm going with LAX for the win to become the new Impact Tag Team Champions. And I'm calling this right now, I believe this is going to be match of the night. So, going from there, let's move on to our next match. We have La Vera Loca, sorry if I'm not getting that quite right, I try, versus the Powerhouse, Jordynne Grace, for the Knockouts Championship. So basically, if you haven't figured it out by now, Taya Valkyrie and Johnny Impact, they own Impact, really. They own the top two titles, and they're all about themselves. Jordynne Grace, she formerly faced Taya Valkyrie for the title, but due to interference, she did not win the title. And I feel like that Taya Valkyrie is facing her toughest competitor to date. And I feel like this is Jordynne Grace's time to step up and become the new Knockouts champion. So my pick for this match, even after the angle I saw this week where they attacked each other in the gym and Taya got the better of her, I'm going with Jordynne Grace becomes your new Knockouts champion. What's curious about this to me, though, is that we don't have Rosemary involved in this show at all, considering the angle they had with the Undead Bridesmaids. But I feel like Rosemary is going to soon be in line for a Knockouts title opportunity once she's passed this blood feud with Su Yung. But that's just talking down the line. Of course, Rosemary is one of my favorites. The Rosemary Allen storyline is one of my favorite reasons why I've been watching Impact Wrestling for months. Now that's over, you got to go into something new. So going from there, we have our main event. Johnny Impact versus Brian Cage for the Impact Championship. Now, this has been a very interesting story, okay? We have Brian Cage versus Johnny Impact. They faced each other on mutual respect back at Homecoming. It seemed like some crowd interference played into here, and Johnny Impact won and maintained his title. Johnny Impact has held this title since beating Austin Aries back at Bound for Glory. I hope Austin Aries is doing okay, by the way. And basically, we have Brian Cage, the effing machine, and apparently Impact's version of the Terminator. Sorry, you're not as good as Kenny Omega, though. They're facing each other for the title. At first, Johnny gave him a fair shot for the title, but then that was just complete BS when he got injured and stuff. And then we had multi-person title matches. Brian Cage talking about when he's going to get his fair, legitimate one-on-one title bout because Moose and Killer Kross are involved in this too. But going down the line, you find Killer Kross basically kind of working with Johnny Impact and Taya Valkyrie. Johnny fakes an injury, turns full heel. Totally expected that coming. And we basically have Johnny Impact now out here just for his legacy and doing whatever he can to keep the title, including using Senior Impact official Johnny Bravo in every one of his matches, I might add, ironically, but finally shows out after last week that basically he's been in cahoots and everything seems fixed conspiracy, which leaves Brian Cage to go on a rampage, per se, and almost kill Don Callis and Scott D'Amore. So who comes into play? Mr. Integrity himself. Welcome back, by the way, Lance Storm. So Lance Storm will be the special guest referee for this match. And he says he cannot be bought. After Johnny Impact and Taya Valkyrie recall the friendship they have with Lance Storm, thinking, oh, this just works in my favor. Well, apparently not. You're going to have to literally work to keep your title. And I feel like right now, this is the time that Brian Cage becomes your new Impact champion. He's faced every hurdle. He's faced every conspiracy theory. It's a legitimate one-on-one match. You have a fair, impartial, non-biased official. I am going with the Machine, Brian Cage, becoming finally Impact champion. Again, he's a former X Division champion, okay? So he's worthy of this. He even cashed in the title, option C, to pursue this. So he's been going at this now for months. I feel like he finally deserves his time. So with that, those are my simple, brief predictions for Impact Rebellion. This is sure to be a hell of a good show. Short, sweet, simple, coming from that amazing complex in Canada where they had Slammiversary, which is one of the best shows Impact has put on recently since their new incarnation under Anthem Entertainment. And I feel like this show is going to be one of the best wrestling shows we'll see in a while. Especially from Impact Wrestling. United East, I feel like fell a little flat, but I feel like that was more just a showcase of their partnerships versus this is going to be a full-blown showcase of wrestling built off emotional, well-told cinematic stories. So those are my brief predictions for Impact Rebellion. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all enjoy the show Sunday. Please support this channel here. I supply content once in a while. Mostly I do a weekly series called 205 Live Matters where I review the Cruiserweight division and the Cruiserweights and 205 Live in general. Sometimes with myself, sometimes with guests. Keep supporting NoDQ.com. They're the reasons that I started that series. They're also the reasons why I really got into YouTube. It's a fun atmosphere. Full-on wrestling community. Great site. Go buy a shirt. NoDQ.com/shirts. Support the channel here on YouTube. Aaron with NoDQ. There's comment sections for everything, so your opinions matter. You can pretty much talk about anything on anything. Polls, reviews, predictions, memes, GIFs, pics, columns, you name it. And with that, as I like to always close, because I keep it simple, support wrestling outlets both big and small, and let's keep growing this wrestling community together. Simple as that, for I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep supporting this channel. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, comment. Share with me your predictions. Share me your predictions video. I'd love to see and watch them. And I hope you all enjoyed the show. And with that, enjoy your weekend and have a great day.